I love the army, still do. I served for 6.5 years in the Royal Logistic Corps. Really proud that I passed the All-Arms Commando course during my time. The friends you make are more like family, really, because you go through so much together. You've always got each other's backs. And I guess that's why when I left and went into Civvy Street, I found it hard. In the army, you're told what to do. You get a routine, and all of a sudden you go to Civvy Street and you're just left to it. It's really hard to adjust. And to be fair, I don't think I've adjusted to it properly now, and it's been years. The financial side of things was really difficult, because when I was in the army, our son had been born, Jane and I had got married, and then I went to Kosovo. Trouble is, they weren't taking the right amount of money for our accommodation. And then they decided to take it all in one hit in Christmas month. So we had a December with no money, and then in January, just 250 quid dropped in the bank. And that was the start of our financial difficulties. No money for 2 months and everything mounting up like a knock-on effect. And then when I left the army, I remember we'd been shopping. We got to the tills, none of our cards were working. We was in a food shop where Jane works, of all places. We tried all our cards. None of them went through. They kept trying and trying, but nothing. We had to walk out empty-handed. There is no way you can quantify how bad you feel at that exact moment. It's just pure embarrassment. I mean, it was a shop where Jane worked. It was horrendous. You feel like you're not providing for your family that you should be providing for. To be fair, I've never been great with money, but Jane was always really good with it. But we're not having the wages coming in, we would somehow try to pay this, pay that, and you're just short all the time. And then you're completely out of control. The Veterans Charity didn't exist back then, so we rang another organisation, because that was what you did then, I guess. We told them we had absolutely no money and we got no food but a very young family. We need help. They sent someone to our house. It was an older guy, and I remember he went through a check sheet with us. He was with us for quite a while. I remember the kids in the background, watching telly, playing around. They gave us some vouchers so we could go and get some food shopping. We sent them the receipts, but the whole process took quite a few weeks. I can't remember how long exactly, but soon enough we needed more help. The same guy came back and he sorted out some more vouchers for us. But something he said, I remember as clearly as if it was yesterday. He said, "I nearly didn't help you last time because your kids were being so naughty." I had no words. It just didn't seem relevant to the fact we had no money. Our kids weren't naughty at that point. They were just kids. They were young. What can you say to that? You feel like they're judging you just because of the way you're living your life. We were in a really tight spot, and for him to say that, I felt awful. We felt awful. Me and Jane, we were like, wow, what a thing to say. How's that going to help us? You shouldn't be judged because you've got no money. You feel bad enough as it is. The fact that you're asking for help as a veteran is a big deal. It's a huge thing to ask for help. I remember it got so bad for us. It got to dinner time. We'd purposely go around to Jane's parents. We'd just try and time it so when we turned up, it was around dinner time, they'd possibly be sitting down to eat so we could hit them up for a meal. They didn't know that we were struggling like we were, but we literally had no money. I mean, what else could we do? It was just a case of getting by, literally doing what we could just to get food for our kids, and we'd regularly go without. We'd been homeless as well since when I left the army, so we had to go through the process from leaving the army to getting a council property. You have to be homeless or officially classed as homeless before you're given any help from anyone. So they put us in temporary accommodation, which was horrible. We had a room in a hotel in Ilfracombe. It was me, Jane and the 2 kids, but I was working on a building site in Barnstaple. So I'd travel in the morning, drop Jane and the boys off at her mum's, spend the day at work, go back to Jane's parents for dinner, and then go back to our room in the evening. Then they moved us to a place in Barnstaple. It was for more long-term homeless. It wasn't nice, but it was our home. But we were just waiting for a house. I was ringing the council every day, trying to get us on the housing list. And then they give us a house. It was a nice house straight away, somewhere nice we could bring up the family. Home life was so much better now, but we were still struggling financially. We went to Citizens Advice. We didn't know where else to go. They said, "You've got to go bankrupt." He said, "You've got to do this." And that really was the turning point for us. He said, "Go shopping, take your checkbook and buy some food." We didn't drink at the time, so go out, buy some food and go bankrupt. And that's literally what we did. And at that point, we could almost start afresh. So to anyone who may think you don't understand, believe me, I do. We've been there, we've done it. The bankruptcy, the empty cupboards, going to other families' houses for food. It wasn't a case of being short a couple of quid. We had nothing. If you're really struggling, you've got nothing. It's hard for people to comprehend that. When you say you've nothing, you open the cupboards for dinner and they're empty, completely empty. It took me a long time to be the proud veteran I am today. If I saw myself 20 years ago, things I'd say to myself: don't wait, reach out for help straight away. As soon as you start struggling, mate, reach out. As soon as things deteriorate, go for help straight away. It doesn't matter if it's mental health, financial support, doesn't matter what it is, don't wait. We waited far too long. It just made everything worse, and it's so much harder to get back on track afterwards. Don't be ashamed to ask for help. There are people out there that have been through it. They know what you're going through and they will help you, but they won't judge you. So you're asking me, how will the Veterans Charity help? I guess you'd say they're the rapid reaction force of military charities. Everything they do is so fast. They'll get you shopping the next day, or if you need it, you can have it the same day. You don't go hungry, you don't go without, and you definitely don't get judged. I really wish they'd existed when we were struggling, because our lives would have been so much easier. Life has changed for us. Life is good. And that's why when we can, we volunteer for the Veterans Charity, so we can help people that are going through what we've been through. It's given me back my life, and that is why I do what I do.